The leg vise on my new workbench utilizes a parallel guide. This guide relies on a pin to work properly, and that pin didn't come with a handle. So I decided to try my hand at turning my own. What follows is an excerpt from the Split Top Rubo Workbench series that you can view now by joining the guild at woodwhispererguild.com. This clip shows how I made a simple tool handle from a scrap piece of mahogany. I hope you enjoy. Now, speaking of the parallel guide pin, since we're going to be putting this in and out of the parallel guide very frequently, it would be nice if there were a nice little handle there. So minimally, all you need to do is take a scrap piece of wood, drill a 3/8 of an inch hole in the end grain, and put the pin into that hole, and you've got yourself a little makeshift shop-made handle. But I think we can do a little bit better than that, and I certainly think this bench deserves a nicer handle than that, so let's go make our own at the lathe. My tool handle is going to come out of a scrap piece of mahogany. I start by marking from corner to corner on each end to give me the center points. At the drill press, I drill about 2 inches deep into one end with a 3/8 inch bit. This is where the pin will eventually go. A few taps with a hammer helps to seat the spur chuck on the other end of the block. I then insert the chuck and snug up the live center. Now, using a roughing gouge, I bring the blank into round. A copper coupling cut in half will serve as a ferrule. So I use the cut piece as a guide to mark the length. Now, using a parting tool, I'm going to work the end of the blank down to the exact thickness that matches the inner diameter of the copper ferrule. With a little CA glue on the tenon, I slide on the ferrule and tap it into place. Now back to the lathe. At this point, it's all about comfort and decoration. It's your handle, so make it look how you want it to look. And keep in mind that I'm not a very talented turner. I know enough to get the job done, and one of these days, I'll work on improving my skills. Even if you don't plan on being a turner, you should have at least a basic set of skills on the lathe. Being able to turn your own furniture parts is an incredibly convenient treat. To finish the handle, I'm going to use General Finish's Wood Turner's Finish. This water-based formula is easy to apply and it dries fast. After the first coat dries, the surface is really rough, so a quick pass with 1000 grit smooths things out. I'll apply 5 to 6 coats in this fashion. Once the finish looks good, I can release the handle from the lathe using a saw. Of course, the little nub needs to be sanded down too, and then a little bit of finish applied. I then insert the pin using a little epoxy, and as they say, Bob's your uncle. Not too bad for a non-turner.